Hello and welcome to episode 23 of Buxton Barrow Man, where I go through Buxton's history and clean up the town at the same time. Today I'll be talking about future plans for a new railway route and the little hamlet that it would serve. So this railway route and an odd picture of a train I had never seen in my life before had appeared a few times on Instagram. However, the articles stated it was in the Peak District. It was a bit odd to me, as I was sure I knew there wasn't much in the way of abandoned or unutilised track in the national park, so I just ignored it, until the article came back to me and I found out that it was coming to Buxton. Which to me, I know is obviously not in the Peak District, as much to the council's annoyance. But the gist was that a new train line had been considered between the main station in Buxton to Blackwell Mill, a hamlet at the end of the Munsell Trail, which itself used to be a railway line from Buxton to Bakewell and beyond. The route is a little daft, as it would involve departing from Buxton, pulling into the sidings, switching driver cabs, and then proceeding down a single track freight line 4 miles to Blackwell Mill, of which extra track would need to be laid for a station, as well as the need for signalling along the track. A little convoluted, but I believe the trains are the reason Buxton Town Team have suggested the route. They're called VLR, Very Light Rail, and it's made by Transport Design International, the model proposed for the line being the Revolution VLR. It's an odd looking train, certainly not the ugliest, but it's nothing special. It's a hybrid train with a Euro 6 compliant engine. However, I've only heard people and the news articles mention it's battery operated, not hybrid, which goes against the company's website. But nonetheless, there's no information on the battery capacity, how it charges, or the capabilities of the electrical unit, other than its top speed of 100 km per hour or 62 miles per hour. There's some videos online of it testing and the interior, of which it can have the maximum seating capacity for 56 passengers, but if it ever came to Buxton, I doubt it'll have that capacity, as extra room would be needed for cycle storage. It is serving an 8-mile trail after all. Other issues arise, particularly because there will most likely need to be charging and maintenance facilities for one single unit. I doubt they'd buy 2 of these trains for a 4-mile line. So as much as the Munsell Trail is in dire need of a safe connection to Buxton, other than driving, this solution is a bit of a daft one. A huge reason is it's just complicated and expensive. The town team want to raise £100,000 just for consultant work alone. And that's bonkers, because even when the system is working, the tickets for the train will be extortionate. They will not get anywhere near the passenger numbers to pay for the service. But there is alternatives, other than nothing, which is the most likely option. Well, I walked down to Blackwell, and it is a beautiful little hamlet with a cycle hire shop and not much else. It is in a very secluded place with a private lane down to the houses, so there isn't any public transport options for those on the trail or living there. Oh wait, no, there is. There's a bus stop on the main road, just outside the car park for the trail. And I admit it's only served every 2 hours. But come on, a bus makes a lot more sense than a train, economically in this situation. So I propose 2 solutions for the town team and the council. One is to survey the amount of room on the existing freight line to extend the trail with a fence beside the live railway. It might be expensive and a bit of work, but making the trail go a further 4 miles to the tunnel before Morrison's in Buxton would allow people to cycle or walk from Buxton to Bakewell with no interaction with cars whatsoever. And that sounds like a dream to me. The other is a new bus route. The one that currently serves the bus stop at Blackwell Mill is the Stagecoach 65 from Buxton to Sheffield, of which I have taken many times myself. Unfortunately, I know there isn't enough passengers to make running extra services viable, but Buxton as a tourist town lacks any connection to the Hope Valley and vice versa. Castleton, Hope and Haversidge are major tourist destinations, along with Buxton, but Buxton is a far easier and cheaper place to stay, So to me, a bus route from Buxton through Millersdale to Tideswell, Bradwell, Brough, Castleton, Hope and Hathersage makes perfect sense. Plus, I've seen it before with one of the many routes between Hope Valley and Sheffield. You can have a bike rack attached to the bus or even inside of a bus. So please, the VLR is a cool new concept, but it's not fit for this purpose. I believe the VLR is a far more expensive and complicated solution to the issue that we are currently facing with the Monsell Trail. So if you are going to make a decision, town team, please ignore the VLR and go for a cheaper, more reliable and well-known alternative, such as a bus route, and just fill in the gaps in the timetable that the 65 has left behind, whilst also creating a new route to further tourist destinations that could be served and utilised very well by people in Buxton and tourists. Or pay the extra money and extend the Monsell Trail into Buxton, allowing people to travel freely from Buxton to Bakewell without any interaction with road traffic whatsoever. Or just don't waste the money trying. And just before I get to the cleaning part of the video, do not walk on the A6 to and fro Blackwell. It is ridiculously dangerous, even with my shortcuts up the valleys. For this episode, I cleaned up one full wheelbarrow worth of rubbish and a shopping basket from a hedge. Well, that's it from this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, ta-ra!